Take it over, Khaled.
Hello, everyone. I am Khaled bin Kawat, and I have my guest here. She's Debra, and I want to welcome Debra and my co-host Kintu. Likes being called Kintu. It's one of the amazing names that he has preferred ever since he adopted African kids. So Kintu is here with us. He's my co-host, and my guest is Debra, and we are so thrilled, we are so happy, we're so amazed, we're feeling love, seeing her here. She's going to teach us. We have to learn because she's a teacher. By the way, she's a teacher. A teacher. She's a spiritual teacher. She's a co-founder. Can you imagine? She's a co-founder of something big. Oh yeah, big life magic. Yes. So let's all be here. Don't miss the show. Don't miss anything. I want everyone to be here to hear whatever she says, because I believe whatever she says is big. The way she found it, the big life magic. So you don't miss this. And also me, the person talking, I really want to learn. As usual, I'm Khaled, and also known as Eternity. And I think we can start. Me, I have a very big question for Debra. How does it feel being a founder and also being a spiritual teacher? How does it
feel? It feels like this, it takes me straight to my heart. And I'll tell you this, we're the 1st of December today, but the month of November is the birthday month of Big Life Magic. So it was inspired, Big Life Magic was inspired in 2020 during, the year of everything changing. You all know what happened. And one of the things that happened for me was this call towards no longer hiding my true gift. For I've been working in spiritual practice and healing modalities for 30 years. Like when I founded at 19, first shuffling my deck of tarot cards. But there was something in me that was always hiding just a little bit. Like calling myself something else, or doing the work only in private, or in some ways, not in other ways. And part of that was me learning and growing in all that I have learned to get to where I am now. But in 2020, I heard this strong call towards it's time to step into the light. And I believe we all heard it in different ways. But for me, it was like now or never, Deb. Step into the magic or figure it out in the next lifetime. So I was like, okay, I'm stepping in. I don't want to hide the fact that for me, my intuition and my connection to spirit is essential to my life. And I wanted to share that with others and then help people to connect to their own spirit, their own heart. And so that's where Big Life Magic kind of began, in this sense of my own big life in not hiding anymore, and in bringing the magic forward, and in showing people it doesn't matter where you begin, your big life magic is possible. Because for me, I had to work through a whole heap of big loss and the healing of that before I got to the magic. And so now I'm the very proud founder and creator of Big Life Magic. And we've got a community of magic makers that work with me, which I'm absolutely delighted in, the community that's developed globally. But also, it's also kind of feels new to me to be able to play in the space as spiritual teacher, because I wanted to be sure that I could hold that space, to feel like I am actually in my mastery. I have been studying and learning for 30 years. I can share this now from a place of the teacher for all, So I don't take it lightly, calling myself a spiritual teacher. And it's taken me the 30 years to get to this place, to be able to say, I can actually claim this now.
Wow.
Yes.
I just want to say, I know exactly what it feels like. One day I was taking a walk and I said to myself, I'm a spiritual teacher. I've always been a spiritual teacher. I'm claiming it. And it's like, okay, here I am right here. I want to ask you a question because we just recently got together. I want you to explain to Ali what this is. We came together recently. I got an email. You were doing a new moon circle. And I was invited to that, and it has really been a journey, and I love that. And I'm not going to go. I don't want to talk, but I want you to tell Khaled what is a new moon circle, and how does that work? Because I'll tell you, it is. I'm using the tarot cards to go through it, and that's what gave me the idea for this idea of world peace is the Tower card. So talk a little bit about the new moon circle and what that's about, and how you bring that into your teaching and healing in the world.
Beautiful question. The new moon circles is actually right at the center of Big Life Magic, because when I began, what I was offering first, above and beyond the card readings that I do and other ways that I work, what I was offering first was new moon circles. And it's for the last 3 years, it's been the one thing that's been consistent. And it's something also that I've made a commitment in my business that it will always be open to anybody who ever wants to come to a new moon circle. If you can get on the Zoom, if you can get into that room, you are welcome to be in a new moon circle. It's the global invitation in Big Life Magic. And so what a new moon circle is it's a gathering at the time of the new moon to actually anchor in for yourself, what is my intention for this lunar cycle? So as a magic maker, one of the tools that I use, one of the structures in my magical life is I work with the moon. So the moon has 4 major phases and you can follow them for your life. So we begin at new moon by setting an intention. What do I want in my life? Who do I want to be now? And the moon is going to give you some information about where it is in the chart, what else is happening astrologically with, ideas about what to focus on. So we plant a seed at the new moon. And then when we get to waxing moon and the light is growing, we move from that little crescent to like the half moon. That's when that intention is growing in you. And then when you get to full moon, that's when you're celebrating, you're able to see all the light, you take a review of your life. And then as the moon starts to let go, you also start to let go. So you can actually follow the moon as a way of giving structure to your life. And so the new moon circles that I share are time and space for people to come into what I call a magic circle, which is a designated space where somebody, that's me, is holding the circle group, holding the space, that's sacred ritual space, so that as a community together, you can tune into what's important for me. What do I need to be focusing on now? You can share conversation with people. You can do some journaling or writing, or sometimes we do drawings. Sometimes we're inspired by music. And most new moons, I'll also give a guided meditation for people to be able to be in that space, to be able to really take time for yourself. Because the essence of the new moon, it's not just about setting a goal for yourself. What you want to do is you want to go to the inside self and check inside first before we come out. The moon does. So we go little to the big. But every single new moon is completely magical. They're all different depending on where people are zooming in from, what's happening in the world at the time. They're amazing.
Yeah, let me share with Khaled what I took away, what I heard, and what's been so good for me is you said that one of the things you said was we're going through a very intense time. I mean, in the cosmos, we're going through a lot of intensity. We can all feel it. And you said two things. There was I'm talking about Mars. You were talking about Uranus. One being more action oriented, one being more chaotic and frantic and stuff, which is kind of how the world is. And our job is to go inside deeper and deeper and deeper and look under that and go deeper and deeper and see what before and not to get involved in what's going on out there.
Exactly.
And that's what came up with the idea of this manifesting world peace. And I thought as I began to move deeper and deeper into what do I want in the world right now? And I was playing with the tower card. And I said, I want a world, what I really wanted was a world free of the MAGA Republicans. And what I really mean by that, I want a world free of people who are mean and cruel and dictators. That's what I want. I want a world of peace. So that's what I've been playing with, and that's what I've been manifesting. And I love it if you would take what I'm saying and just sort of play with it. And then I'm going to be quiet and let my son come back into running the show.
Yeah. So for everybody who's listening, what Martin's talking about is I always give like an energetic forecast. What's actually happening in the moon? What's happening in the planets? What's actually happening on our planet? Like, how can we understand what's happening above and how that's influencing us below? So for the past, like this past lunar cycle, which we're getting towards the end of, we're past the full moon. We're in the second half now. But when we were together at new moon, it was a new moon Scorpio. Scorpio invites us into our underworld. Scorpio invites us into our emotions. Scorpio invites us into the taboo or the secret, the thing we think we're not supposed to talk about, like what lies underneath that. But at the same time, we've got these big planet shifts at the moment, which is literally causing some chaos and breaking down of things. And it can feel really like intense and out of control. But sometimes what we need is for things to break down so we can see what's underneath them, or for things to break down so that we can actually clear the space and begin to create anew. You know, that whole idea of like spring cleaning, like I'm going to make a big mess before anything's actually cleaned up. So that was the particular new moon that we've just been through, that Martin was in the circle with all the other magic makers. And then when we reach the next new moon, it'll be new energy. And then the next new moon after that, it'll be new energy again. Because if you follow the story of the universe, the sky above is actually guiding us with what is best for you to do now. How can we be with this energy instead of going against it? With the collective energy of the whole universe. Into the detail of Scorpio or Mars or planet Uranus. You don't have to necessarily know that, but if you can tap into the energy, you can find a way to flow with it. Because this last lunar cycle, if you've been the person who's been trying to like activate something on the outside, make a big launch, it's not going to go that well, because the whole energy is not there for that. The energy at the moment is come down, anchor in. That energy of coming out and making things happen, that's coming, but we're not there yet.
Okay. Thank you so much. Right now, I don't know about the listeners, but to me, I feel I really now want to get into that moment. I want to follow that more fast moment till the fourth moment.
Yeah.
I can feel everything, so that, like you said, you can't clean what is not messed up. So you only clean what is messed up. So for us to wake up into that. And I had Dad talking about him manifesting. He has always wanted to have a place where there were no dictators, there were no people, such people. And that is what we Africans want. Sometimes I always tell myself, I know I can't tell an African this, because his main aim, he thinks, is that going abroad is the only solution. And to me, yes, it is. it is good, you go for security. Yes, we want the security. But if you look at it carefully, sometimes we Africans, we people, like we have to first discover our inner person so that you can change the dictators that are there, the leaders that are there, ones that are not leading us very well. Yes, my dad always told me, you first come this side, then you will lead or control or try to change Africa when you're this side. So true. But you can never change a situation till you dive into it.
Absolutely.
You know? And with what Debra was saying, is like she had to get into the mess to clean it. That's, right? If I'm using my logic, she had to die to get to the mess, to clean it so that it would shine, so that she could come out and feel the proud, founder of Big Life. The first question I asked her was, how do you feel? And she was like, there's that thing she knows she worked for. She cleaned the dishes, she cleaned the bowls, of fearing, of hiding, of the magic. And that's what I can tell Africans, my fellow Africans. It's just accepting, diving, the suffering that Africans are going through, the pain that we go through. I think it's the dirt or the mess that we have to dive into and clean. And we should also be proud founders of something, of Diamond Mind, of anything, and then create Africa to where we want it.
Absolutely. And the work that I do, I call it practical magic, meaning I go to the woo, like I go up to the universe, like what's Mars doing? What, how do you speak to your angels and your guides? Like I go to the woo, but I also bring it earthbound to the how to. So practical magic is the woo and the how to. So let's take an example. If, Martin, you say you want a Christmas of peace, but actually what you're wanting is that like no meanies, like the people who are mean, the mean energy. So if you were to take that into practical magic, what that would look like is first coming to self and saying, where in my world, my internal world or the world around me that I have control over, where am I being mean to myself? Where am I creating mean energy between me and another? Because maybe, like, again, in your example, like, let's just calm the Republican Party down. Well, are you in your language and in your energy being mean towards those people? Because maybe if you are, then that's actually not going to create this energy of no mean people. So it goes internal first and then out to the next layer of influence, like what are my actions? What am I doing? Who am I interacting with? Maybe if there's some mean people in your life and you're just like, actually, I could wind down that relationship. I don't have to necessarily be in that community or that networking group anymore because the energy is not quite right. You can actually let that go. And then it goes out further into your communities, your organizations, then your country, and then the world. But I think we have to start here because, if you want to be somebody who is an agent of change towards peace, then you need to be really clear about the peace within you. And also, let's be real, practical magic here. We're grounded on the earth plane. We're humans. Not every moment is going to be peaceful. But how are you going to manage the moments that don't feel peaceful? Where's the peace conflict, resolution, process, structure within you that can then come from here out into the world?
Thank you so much, Debra. I feel like we should have this conversation till, because I'm learning a lot, and I know my fellow Africans are learning that they're getting something. They're getting to know how we can make this place a better place, Kakuma, a better place,
Yeah.
Africa, a better place, you know. I have another question. I think I'm asking this question on behalf of we Africans, because on the right, we call America the land of opportunities. We call the West the Western world. We call it good. It's the perfect world, right, for everything. And yeah, and now when it comes to Africa, we feel like this is hell. This is it. This. Have you ever gone to? It's like you going to like hell for a minute, going to hell for a minute, and or let me say, you being the tallest person and you're in Sudan, I think you'd be on the level of the sun, you know. So this is Africa. That's how things are. The sun is just right next to us.
Yeah.
It's always trying to burn, you know, it's hot.
Yeah.
So, but for you guys, it's always, okay, it's not that always you people are so fine. No, but you're fine. You guys, the Western world is fine. Not so fine, but fine. In Africa, we are totally badly off. So this question is like, because we have been teaching people. My brother has been teaching Africans how to manifest. Yeah.
Mm.
And I know everyone does manifestation, but they don't know that they're doing it. Mostly Africans. They do manifest, but they don't know that they're doing it.
Yeah.
It's like you doing something, but you don't know that you're doing it. It's like Khaled, he was doing the spiritual teaching, but he didn't know that he was doing it. Till he had to dive into the mess and cleaned it and got eternity. Yeah. So I want you to help us, because I also still want to learn. My dad still wants to learn. He's always learning from us. Most of the time, he always tells us he learns from us. I want you to help us, help Africa, help Africans, and show them or teach them and give them the meaning of manifestation. How would they manifest? Because Christmas is coming. We have to manifest. Christmas is coming. That's a happy, in fact, that is the happiest moment on earth. The happiest month, sorry, on earth. Because in that month, that's why you even if you've taken long seeing your friends, that's like for us in Africa, that's when we gather, you know, we have the fire, and then the burning, you know, burn like there's the woods, and you know, we sit home, we have our grandfathers. If I was still in I come back, we have our grandfathers telling us those old stories, you know, that day, that month. People even stop working, they get back to the villages. You people call them the countryside, right? You people call it the countryside. For us, we call it the villages. So yeah, I want you to help me enlighten we Africans on what manifestation is. Thank you.
Thank you. What a delicious offer.
You're welcome.
Yeah, to everyone listening in Africa and across the world, the first thing I want you to know is your whole life is a manifestation. You are already a master manifester. And also understand you're manifesting what's working, and you're also manifesting what's not. So let's just, again, practical magic. Let's be real about it. Let's not go all into the sparkly woo. Let me think some nice thoughts and then good stuff's going to happen. This is where people get into trouble with not, like, the first thing you need to do is you need to take responsibility for your own energy and claim it. I'm the manifester, which means I have manifested everything that is around me at the moment. And taking it in terms of like your whole life experience, there are parts of our world that has been manifested on our behalf. We chose where we're born into. We chose our families. We chose our experiences as souls. So why don't we say yes instead of reject? Just say, here I am. What is the opportunity for me here? What is here for me to learn? What can I be responsible for? Because if you actually want to be a conscious manifester, set your new moon intentions or work your manifestation magic, you must be anchored in your own truth and take full responsibility for your energy vibration. And absolutely different parts of the world have different tensions and different environments that we're living in. Like here, I live on the island of Tobago, very, very small island in the Caribbean, where resources are limited. There's some people who have to work really hard for the money that they make. And COVID was devastating here. Tourism stopped. So for some people and some families, their whole income was gone for a long time. And so then what happens in that space? You know, so there's different places around the world are going to have different energies that we live in. And there's an acceptance of, okay, this is the energy that I'm living in, but how do I want to be within that? How do I want to be within that? And the other thing about manifestation that I'll share this first before I start talking a lot. I have a resource called the Manifesting Ladder. It's a video of me with a guidebook that people can follow along. And for everybody tuning in, I'm going to make sure that you and Martin have a link to that. And I'll make it free for everybody who's listening, so it's completely accessible to anybody. And so that you can actually take this resource and watch it and then follow along. Because I think because I developed it so that people can actually feel like they can get their hands on the manifesting idea and make it real. Because what we want to focus on when we're manifesting is not the thing that we're manifesting. We want to focus on the feeling. How does it feel? So when we're working the manifesting ladder, we don't want to go, so grounded into an example. Somebody wants to have more money, more abundance and prosperity in their life. And you want to bring that into your world. But your reality right now is you're counting the pennies, hoping that you have enough. So that means you're on this rung of the ladder here. I'm counting pennies. And your manifest desire is at the top of the ladder, which is I have enough money. I have more than enough. I have money to share with my community. I have money to invest in myself. Maybe I have money to leave Africa and go and see another part of the world. Like whatever your desire is at the top of the ladder. The problem here in manifestation is people try to go from here all the way to here. It's too much of a leap energetically. So what I share in the manifesting ladder is you want to go from here, I'm counting pennies, I'm nervous about money, I feel like I don't have enough. You want to go from there to the next rung up and then get stable there. And then from that rung, you go to the next rung up and then get stable there. So an example might be, all right, I'm counting pennies. I'm not sure if I have enough. That's the energy that we're at. How does that feel? It makes me feel quite anxious. Okay, well, what's the next rung up? Next rung up might just be a little bit less anxious. How do I get that feeling? Well, let me actually focus on what I've got. So I've got 5 pennies, which means I can afford this. So it's going to help me there. Okay, let me focus on what I can do with these pennies. Bring my energy shifting from anxious to a little less anxious and a bit of gratitude. And then you stabilize that energy. And then you, over time, you work your way up the ladder. And the reason that I share this with people is so many people read a book or listen to a podcast about manifesting, and it's like you just got to think about it, you got to feel it. And so people start to do that, but they try to do this big jump. What happens is you're trying to do this big jump and you don't ever actually get there, and you crash somewhere in between, and you're left with the feeling of, I'm a bad manifester, it's working for other people and not for me, like all of those things. And you know what that does? It brings you even further down the ladder, even lower than a couple of pennies, because your energy has gone lower. So that's why I recommend to people, it takes some time. You've got to be committed and you work it consistently. And it's working. How do I feel? How do I feel? Because the feeling of abundance, I have enough to share with my community. Hey, I'm buying a plane ticket. That feeling is much different than the one that you have today. So you've got to work your energy up the ladder. And here's the good news, everybody. Once you start climbing the ladder, everything gets faster. It gets faster the higher in the ladder that you get. The first couple of moves are the hardest. But once you start climbing that ladder and believing in it and moving that energy in yourself and getting that vibration higher, everything starts to pick up. The universe goes, whoa, they're getting higher. Start bringing more opportunities, more possibilities for you, because the energy of you is getting higher. So I'm going to make sure that you have the link to this, the manifesting ladder. I highly recommend for everybody to climb your own ladder.
We will, Holly, we'll make sure that we include that link when we put up the permanent podcast and the YouTube podcast. So it'll always be part of the notes to this program. Okay.
Thank you so much.
Yeah. Do you have any questions about the ladder or manifesting, or like what did that mean for you?
Yeah, that's what I wanted to talk about. Me personally, what I've learned into that. Like you saying that we always manifest, like we over assume, like we jump, we skip ladders and all that. You're so right when it comes to Africa. That is so true. It is, we want quick, like we always want quick. And the reason for we wanting quick is the pain, the hell, the suffering that we're going through. That's why we want the quick. And yes, we are wrong wanting the quick. Same time we're right. We want to live the hell. But like you said, when we want the quick, we shall not get it. We shall just get devastated and depressed, and we get back low, or we get back to the suffering that we are running away from. So what I want is, sorry.
I wanted to ask you to get this real. You're manifesting $500 right now, but you're not really manifesting $500. What you're manifesting is a trip to Nairobi to see your mom for 5 days, right? To visit your sister. You haven't seen her. So you're manifesting a trip, an experience, and you need $500 to do it. Share with her a little bit about that, and maybe she can help you and give you some advice on this current manifestation that you're doing right now. That's a real life thing that you and I have been working on, hasn't it? Okay. So share that. Well, we've got Debra here. Let's get a little expert advice and a different perspective there, so we can make sure that you get that event, because you want to have a Christmas with your mom in Nairobi, right? You haven't seen her in years. So talk a little bit about that. Let her help you. Let us both help you make that happen.
Okay. Let me even just. I'm free to start where all this came in. Is it okay? There's a time me Abba got arrested. So when we got arrested, falsely, like they were accusing us, yes, and we got there, and I had dreads. They got them off. They beat us totally, to a point where I reached and I was like, gosh, I wish I could see my mom, even if for the last time. With the pain I was going through, the beatings and the words, they were all pouring onto us, and all that. So it made me realize that I need at least my mom, even for one sight like this. You know how we blink? I felt like Even if I saw my mom on that minute, just in a blink of an eye, just in a blink of an eye, I would feel happy going knowing that I've seen her for all the years that I've seen. So from that day till now, I think we're in like 2 months, 3 months now. That's what I think. I've been manifesting, wanting to see her eagerly. It led me to a point that, no, let me look for her. Let me call her. I think if I hear her voice, because I was so down, even when I got out, I was so down. I felt like I don't want to see anyone. I want to just be in the house alone, my bed. Have you ever woken up to sleep? Like you wake up, then go back to sleep. That was my daily routine, waking up and sleeping. So I used to say my daily routine right now is waking up and sleeping, waking up and sleeping. So wake up, go take water, go back and sleep because this place is hot. You have to be taking water. So that was like my daily routine. And my dad was always talking to me and trying to make me feel good. Yes, but I told myself, I feel like there's something missing. So I would sit down and ask myself, what is that? Till I got my phone. I called someone to help me get my mom's number. So that someone gave me the number and I called her. The next morning I was at work as if nothing has ever happened to me. Just hearing her voice, it just awoken me, like just woke up. I'm like, it's like, being like, have you ever seen someone, have you ever had a person in a coma for like 2 years? Okay, let's give a period of 1 year. Yeah? A person in a coma like for 1 year. So that person just wakes up, like you've been there waiting, then all of a sudden he just wakes up and he calls your name. That is how I felt after hearing my mom. My dad wondered the next morning, like, whoa, you okay? And I was happy. And I was giving him his favorite thing he likes about me. He would always tell me, smile. And I believe, actually, I always know that. I always tell myself that each time you smile, actually, that is what gives me hope all the time, or what keeps me moving, what keeps me like, gives me like hope that one day I'll be with my dad, or like it will always keep me. I always tell even people, each time you smile, yeah, you grow 10 times younger. Each time you smile, you grow 10 times younger. So that is what I always try so hard to do. And my face is always used with smiling. That's what I can say. I'm always smiling. Even when I'm talking, I'm always just, it's something that is not just right next to me all the time now. It's like my other friend, my other partner. Like, I think I have a relationship with smiling. I'm in love with it. Yes, that's what I can say. And that's how I have this feeling that I really have to see my mom. I want to see my mom. But still, in seeing her, there's what I need to clean so that I can get out. It's the polishing, the mess that is there, like getting her out of there to here next to me so that I can see her. I think this is now where this part comes in of cleaning so that it can shine. And that is what I'm manifesting. My dad always told me the money to come, because I remember I told him I wish I had gotten I got a place where I could be with her at less amount. Then he told me, doesn't need to be, why would you go in a place with a less amount yet you're going to see your mom? Why don't you go to a hotel I went to when I came to Nairobi? And I'm like, okay, I would love that because I would make my mom happy. And I'm like, Mom, the fact that I wasn't there with you, at least this little time that I'm going to share with you, you're going to sleep in a nice hotel, 10 days, 25 days with your son. You're going to see him. You're going to talk to him. You're going to hug him. You're going to peck him, kiss him, and everything. So that is what I've always done. I'm always manifesting. I think we're coming to 3 months of manifesting, wanting $500 to just go and see my, spend some time with my sister. That's how I'm. What I'm manifesting.
So Khaled, you very clearly know the top of your ladder. You know it. You can see it. You can feel it. There's details about the feeling of your mother, the smile it's going to bring on your face. You have a really strong connection to the top of your ladder. And it's really important. We want to know that because we want to know what energy we're rising towards. What I would advise and invite you to do is each day do 3 things. Number 1, check in first. How am I feeling today about the $500 and this trip to see my mother? And be honest with yourself. How am I feeling? Because there's some days when we're manifesting something or we have a big goal and we'll tap in and we'll go, actually, I'm fearful that it's not going to happen. That's actually my feeling today. I'm fearful that it's not going to happen. Or there's some days you'll tap in and you'll be like, oh, actually, it feels a little bit hopeful today. But the first thing that you're going to do is you're going to be honest with yourself. How do I actually feel about this manifestation today? What is the feeling? Because that'll tell you where you are. Then the second thing that you do, go to the top of the ladder. Hang out there at least 3 minutes, if not longer. Like sit there smiling, see your mother, feel the hug, feel the moment when you're in your hand is that $500. Be in that vibration. So then you know where you're at. You know the vibration of today and you know where you want to go. So you've got number 1 today. Number 2, top of the ladder. Number 3, and what am I going to do about it today? What's the one move I can make today that's going to make me get closer to my goal? And some days that's asking for support. For some days that's thinking about literally where is the next lot of money going to come from. Some days it's very practical, and some days it might be more emotional. It might be like, wow, for 3 days in a row now, I've been connected to fear. What I need to do today is actually really work through why am I fearful that this isn't going to happen. So each day there'll be a different action, but manifestation is the feeling and then acting upon that.
And let me just add, and for you, Holly, because this is what you're doing. Remember the other day when we said, well, how are you going to get there? And you know what you did? We have a script now where we're trying to raise money. We're working to raise money for the diamond. Right now, we're looking to raise $25,000 for the Diamond Mine land purchase campaign. And all of our Africans, like Khaled, they are paid for anybody that gets a subscription that pays a donation. They get to make 50% of the commission, up to $150. Mm-hmm. So now, because unemployment is such a difficult situation, we've given them some way to, 1, help themselves get real money in their pocket, in their Impasa account, and number 2, help us raise money for this big cause. That raises the vibration. And what was really interesting is he sent out text, and sometimes they have a tendency to go out there and beg for the money. That's not going to bring the vibration. That's going to bring the vibration down because it's coming from a place of fear, right? So I said, don't do that. What you're going to do is you're going to write a text, and we did it. The first part of the text was, thank you so much for all the help you've given me. The second part of the script was, And I know that sometimes I've been a little annoying by begging for money, and I apologize. I'm serious. I know that's annoying. I'm not going to do that anymore. But I got some exciting news to tell you about something even better. And then he spent 20%, 80% of the talking about the solution and how this project is going to make a difference in his life and lives of others. And he sent that out to some people, and he got people to give him a positive response.
That's
Remember that?
action. That's taking the action. Absolutely. Yeah. And taking full responsibility for who you are and the vibration that you're currently in. For everybody listening, like, what is it that you've been doing to either cheat yourself or not be completely honest with yourself, to go for like the easier route rather than the higher vibration? Like, we're human. We're all going to do it. We're going to do it to ourselves, or we're going to do it to our partners, or we're going to do it to our family. In some way, it's a part of our human learning. But I think one of the most powerful things that you can do is just to be really honest with yourself. What rung on the ladder am I at today? How am I actually really feeling today? And it's more than feeling. What am I going to do about that? Because if sending the text messages and taking responsibility and bringing people into the excitement of something new is working, great. Keep doing that. And ask Spirit, show me what else I can do. Show me how easy it can be. I'm open to all options, universe. Show me where that money is, because I will raise my vibration to meet it.
Okay. Thank you. I love learning. No, say I love learning. And each time I get to know something, I tell myself another day. I motivate myself, telling myself that today I've gotten something. I'm not going to sleep on my bed without learning something, or I've not done something.
Yeah.
Because those times they always tell us, or they always ask us, today, the whole day, what have you done? So to me, if someone asks me today, what have you done today? Learned something. Manifestation has ladders, steps.
Manifestation has ladders. Yeah.
You just need to just say, I'm manifesting, yet you want to start from here, then jump to, I'm going to buy a private jet tomorrow.
Yeah, exactly.
So I've learned that.
Yeah.
And thank you so much, Debra.
Yeah, you are welcome.
Thank you so much for
And we normally go 30. I'm going to just remind, we normally go 30 minutes, but this has been such a great conversation, and it's such an important conversation because it is, once you understand the principle of manifesting, you understand the ladders, and you understand it's a feeling thing. How will we feel when we wake up Christmas morning and all the mean people are gone? How would that feel? How would it feel to turn on the news and they're talking about the new star over Bethlehem, and people know about how much they love each other and how much they care for each other and how sorry they are for being ugly to people in the past? Wouldn't that be a day of awakening, a place of real gratitude and forgiveness and beauty and joy? That's what I'm manifesting. And and what it does for me, Debra and Khaled, is that it raises my vibration along the way. Because when you said to go inside these 21 days, what I'm doing is I go, when I go out there and mess with the outside world, Holly can tell you, I count to 10 right now to sort of screw things up and create some enemies. That's why I go back inside. And when I'm inside, I also find myself feeling this wonderful feeling. Well, I want to feel like that on Christmas Day. And I think that's where I want to go. How am I going to? I'm just going to go inside and ask the universe to show me.
Yeah.
And one of them is this conversation. We're manifesting it right now in this conversation.
Yeah. Yeah.
You see?
Yeah.
It's wonderful, isn't it?
Yeah.
Wow.
it's because last Monday, a week, yes, this Monday, when it was starting, I remember my dad saying he's going to, I should say out what I want to manifest. And yes, he said we shall manifest, because we were three of us, me, Uncle Pete, and him. So I say it out and we start manifesting it. And before even I told Dad, I remember correctly, before I used to be this person of, Dad, I need this. I need this. And ever since I learned the power of manifestation, I told him before you talked about the ladder, I told him what I've discovered on manifestation is patience. And if you get to my Facebook account, I've talked about that on my Facebook. Patience. And where is the patience? And that's where Dad told me to enlighten, elaborate it more. Because I talked about the grass turning into milk. Dad, I think you remember that. And you told me, where's the logic behind, because grass will never turn into milk, right? But if you're patient enough, what if it turns into milk? That's the logic behind it, patience. That's what I got to learn. So thank you so much. I'll always
patience on that. I think that's one of the things we can tie in here, is because you brought that up about patience to get there. The patience is what you practice on the ladder.
Yeah.
Yes.
Yeah.
Slowly.
I believe this is going to happen, but it's going to happen when the universe wants it to happen, which is going to be exactly the right time. I just need to sit in patience and with an open heart and excitement about what's going to happen, because I know the universe has my back and we're going to get this to happen. Yeah. You just using that patience to raise your vibration up.
Yeah. And it's also a co-creation, like another word, like the old school spiritual teachers who talk about manifestation, they don't say manifestation. They say conscious co-creation. And conscious co-creation is I do my part and the universe does their part, and we're actually creating it together, which also means you're open. You can say, universe, right now I'm feeling kind of anxious and a little bit fearful on this rung of the ladder. So I'm going to do my work to bring that anxiety down and release the fear and be generous today. And universe, I'm going to ask you, please support me. Bring me into a conversation like the one we're having right now. Or let me sit next to somebody on the bus who's going to tell me something that I really need to hear. But you've got to open it up and you've got to be available to it coming, because it is a co-creation. Because if we try to manifest on our own, then the universe goes, all right. And you know what? It's not going to happen. It's actually a lot of hard work that feels like hard work. True manifestation is a conscious co-creation. So you've got to make some space for the angels and the archangels and the ancestors and your soul family to come in and play and rearrange things.
I love this. Yeah. I absolutely love this. And I thank everybody for being here today. Khaled, this is well worth making it an hour show. It is a special show. It's the 1st of December. It's also Age Day. And I think spending extra time to manifest world peace for Christmas is well worth the time. I think there's no corner of the earth that isn't in pain and suffering right now, unnecessary pain and suffering, because there are mean people who are running their countries. And I want a world free of mean, cruel people. That's what I want for Christmas. I want people to love each other and want to take care of each other and support each other and appreciate each other and are grateful for life. That's the world I want to wake up to Christmas morning, and I'm really, really, really excited about it. So Holly, I'll let you, Deborah, thank you so much for joining us
My
today. It's been brilliant. I don't think anybody ever, I think until we started doing it, I don't think anybody ever went into Africa to teach Africans how to manifest. And it's really exciting. And that's what's going to get them out of America. That is what's going to get them. They're going to manifest themselves to the United States. And that's what we're here to do, help them do. So thank you for that. Holly, I'll let you start the show. But Deborah, thank you so much. And I'll let Holly close it. And until next time.
Okay, Deborah, I also want to say thank you so much. I want to thank you on behalf of the Diamond Mind Academy. And I also want to thank you on behalf of Abba Henry. I think you saw his message. He was telling you how nice. It's nice to see you again, because I think he's the first. I think he's the first Diamond Mind product. You know, so I think he has even said it right now. You know, and I want to really thank you so much, because I've had a lot about you. The hug, a lot. A lot is a measure of the hug of the world.
Yeah.
I think, because if you always want to connect with people, because I believe Big Life Magic is all about connecting with people. It's all about trying to, teach people how to get into their spiritual, yes.
Yeah, in the heart. Let's go straight to the heart of it.
Into their hearts, So, and Diamond Mind has the similar goals. If you look at it carefully, not carefully, if you look at it straight, it's so direct. It's so direct, and that's our boss's wishes. Martin, Abba, that's the goal, and that's build. The stone, the first brick of Abba has built a building of me. I'm one of. I think I'm the one, and the rest putting the roof on top, trying to put like Diamond Mind to this, but that came from you first. And he always says it. Deborah did the magic. And he says you don't call it manifestation, you call it the magic. So thank you so much for doing the magic. That's why I wanted to go. But I passed through the corners and all that. But it was all coming back to thank you for doing the magic, and for being there for all of us. Diamond Mind, Abba, the whole crew, because right now I think we should still stay and we talk about how this thing has come in, how it is built, how it is. We even have a cooking place where we cook the food to provide to people, to the world, to Africa, what we think is the kitchen. These people that are here, me, the brain is the kitchen. You've built this. So I serve it out after cooking it. We serve it out. Diamond Mind serve it out to the world, so that they can see. But did you know that you did the magic? Anyways, I wanted to go back to magic. So thank you so much for the magic.
Thank you.
And it was nice seeing you. It was nice meeting you. Diamond Mind is happy to meet you and see you again. And I would love to meet you again, have you on my podcast, I think every time, so that we can help. You can help, and I help, and he helps change Africa and change away the cruel people and lift us up.
Yeah.
Because you will the magic.
Yeah, let's all climb the ladder together to the higher vibrations.
We shall. And I want to thank also my co-host. And I also want to thank my dad. I cannot forget that. And at the same time, he's my friend. At the same time, he's my boss. damn, he's everything, you know. When it comes to him, he's everything. He's overshadowing, you know. He doesn't give me space. Because when you look at it, he's my boss. Yeah, like he's my boss at work. So I can't dodge him. He's my boss. So if I dodge work, he will call me as a dad. Where is my son? You know? So I can't dodge him, but I love the fact that he's always there for me and he'll always be there for me, you know that. And now I've gotten, I think, another Auntie Debra, and I want to be grateful. In fact, you're an auntie to the whole Diamond Mind Academy, you know. But Abba is your brother. Abba is your brother. You're not an auntie to Abba, he's your brother. So thank you so much, and I don't know what to say. I'm just so happy. I've never had a podcast like I get off happy like this. I always get off happy, but I never get off happy. I don't know. The word has refused to come.
I think the three of us raised some vibration here, son.
Yeah.
Now let's take this vibration you're feeling right now and go in there and think, now what are you going to do? Feeling this good vibration, what are you going to do to manifest that $500 this afternoon and this weekend? From here, from this place of this feeling high vibration, you're going to attract the people into the world that are going to want to support you and want to help you and want to give you things. So thanks, everybody. And I'm going to let us go and look until next time. Maybe we should come back in January after all this has come through and see what we've created.
Yeah.
That'd be fun.
Yeah.
I will be the first on the door. Okay, thank you.
Bye-bye, everybody.
Bye-bye.